What's going on, my beautiful people of the world? My name is Nicholas Kemp, and welcome to my new and improved channel called Nick the Entrepreneur. So, in this video, I want to talk about three things. Number one is who am I? Number two, what is the actual channel about? And number three is why did I actually even start the channel in the first place? So, without further ado, let's get into this video.
Class is in session, only right that you stay in your seat. Our opposition straight.
First question on your mind, I'm sure, which is who am I? So, a brief story about me. I'm a Detroit based entrepreneur from Detroit, Michigan, born and raised East Side. The journey really is simple for me. So, I started two businesses over the course of the past 4 years. And my journey really came from, I would say, my disappointment in life from school. I always wanted something greater for myself. I was born to a 14-year-old single mother named Maya Kemp. I look back, the odds were very much against us. And it was always, you're going to fail this. People don't say it, but you can feel the energy. And I'm a big energy person. Growing up to a single parent, life was awesome, to be honest. But it wasn't always easy because of the stigma. So I always value working hard. My parents always instilled in me to work hard, in whatever I did. From that point forward, it kind of just led into me doing everything else. I was always creative. I always had a creative mindset, an engineering mindset. I loved, connecting with people in different ways. When I got into high school and college is when I really started to explore a lot about myself. And what I learned is that the world is not really what it seems. I'm not saying there isn't any good in the world, but there's a lot of lies in the world. And I feel like we live in this bubble, almost like the Matrix in a way, where you're kind of finding out different truths, as you're going through this thing called life, right? From that point forward, I realized that when I went to school, my original mindset was just you get a job, you go to school, you go to school, get a job, and that's pretty much it. I'm only 28 years old, so I come from kind of like that middle era where, technology played a part in the upbringing, but also I come from a working class, of parents who are from that era, and obviously my grandparents are from that era as well. So all we knew was work. But then I realized, when I got to school, I realized sometimes your hard work doesn't always get you in the place that you want to be. And just because you want to actually do something doesn't mean you're actually going to get what you get. End up going to Michigan State for engineering and whatnot, for computer engineering, because I always thought I wanted to create. And I was always great at art. So when I thought of computer engineering, and I used to play a lot of video games coming up, so I'm like, oh, dang, computer engineering must be it. And boy, was I wrong.
Gotcha, bitch.
It was a whole lot of programming, whole lot of things that I didn't want to do. And I ended up changing my major later on. And what originally happened in that moment is I got a taste of reality. And then I ended up changing my major probably around my sophomore, junior year. Mom's was definitely worried, but that's okay. She said, as long as you wanted to change, you could, as long as you wasn't changing to something just to graduate, which I wasn't. I actually wanted to do this thing. So I wanted to go into the game industry. I switched my major to media information with a minor in 3D animation and comics because I started learning 3D animation, 3D modeling. I knew graphic design. I always loved the fusion between technology and creation.
And then really reality hit.
I had a child, my awesome, handsome son, Jaden. I had him in my senior year of college. And that's when I realized I really wanted something more out of life. I wasn't quite as young as my mom. She was 14 years old when she had me. But at the same time, I checked off these boxes in life, and then I had him. And then I was like, okay, what next? And that's when it really, hit home that I really got to do this thing. I got to do something because, baby's not here yet, but I'm in this state of survival mode, and I'm like, how do I do this? How do I do this? Before I knew it, college had kind of failed me. I would go to career fairs, I would get job interviews left and right, but I couldn't make it to these rounds. And companies don't really tell you, right, why it is what it is, as far as why you didn't get the job. It's just you get a denial letter that's automatic. And I kept getting those. I'm talking about applying for over 100+ jobs, I remember, and couldn't get an internship. So I feel like the education system had really failed me, because here I am as a student that really wants to do it, and then I'm being told by professors, because I wasn't a certain major, that I wasn't able to do the game design things that I wanted to do. And really the only difference was we differed by a couple different classes. So even though I'm media information, and then the other major that focused on games was game development, I couldn't do it because I wasn't the game development major. So that in turn turned into, why don't I do this for myself? And I started doing 3D design. Didn't really understand the nuances of a business, but that was in a sense kind of like my first business. And I didn't officially form it or anything like that. But I was pushing, like just showing my art. I'm like, let me just put myself out there and see what happened. Long story short, it didn't really fall through like I wanted, because I kind of just gave up. I love the creative aspect of it, so that stayed with me. But then I started two businesses during the pandemic, um, one in 2020 and the other in 2021. And the first business that I actually started was B.A.M.N ENT with my brothers, my two good friends that I've known for 20+ years. They're my brothers. And we started a business called By Any Means Necessary, which was coined for us after the late and great Malcolm X. And we vowed to do anything we can by any means necessary. So at this time, as you can imagine, I'm kind of jumping around, but I had a kid. I'm getting denied from jobs. And then my brothers decided, hey, let's come together. And we made our first song, and that's what kind of started my entrepreneur journey, the essence of it, with the design experience. And then now this new business, By Any Means Necessary. And then later on, about a year or so later, a few months or so later, I started another business with another brother of mine, called QuikBills LLC. And what that business ended up turning into is we offer funding, for entrepreneurs, who, not even just entrepreneurs, really people looking to elevate their life to the next level, because capital is everything in the world, especially in America. How you progress in life and build wealth is not solely dependent on being a W-2 employee. And that's pretty much facts. Nothing to debate there. It doesn't mean you can't be a W-2 employee, but you still need the extra boost, as far as like credit and many other things, to be able to elevate your life outside of just saving as a W-2 employee. So we originally started a funding business. Really, it was an ATM business, and we added funding. So now we help entrepreneurs get funding, business owners, and everyday people get anywhere from 10,000 to 400,000 in funding for all types of ventures. I mean, it could be business related, personal. I just want to fix a house. I want to invest in stocks, and it's all credit based. So you got one business here that I'm starting actually to do music. I'm entertaining. Um, and growing up, I've always been an entertainer. So, because I've been a dancer for 13+ years. So the entertainment part was already in me, hip hop and different things like that. So I kind of just married the two with technology, my love for culture, and just everything in between. I started these two things. So that is a little bit about me. And this channel specifically is going to be about entrepreneurship, lifestyle, and business based on the experiences that I have. I want to actually grow with you all. So it's not about me being ahead of the road or anything like that. This is really just about showing perspective and just being able to grow together, because we all have dreams. We all have aspirations and we all have things that we want to do. So it's really our job to really execute on those things. But sometimes you don't have the community. Sometimes you don't have the support. Sometimes you don't have, just the people around you. And now that we have this digital era, it's like everybody's around you, even if you are by yourself. So that's why I started the channel. Why did I start the channel? My goal is to really help 100+ people become entrepreneurs, and really live life on your own terms. I think it's not even always about being an entrepreneur. It's really making money off something, off doing the things that you love. I think that's very important. A lot of us they say 80% of Americans hate their job. And that speaks a lot of volumes, because sometimes you do have to go through things in life to get to where you need to go, but it's not the only path. You could do what you want to do. Sometimes you may take a pay cut until you make it something where the value is now added in the marketplace and things like that. So that's why I actually started this channel. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this content. I tried to keep it very short, concise. We're approaching 12 minutes and counting here. I greatly appreciate you guys for tuning into the channel. And I hope, that I can provide some value for you. So please like, comment, subscribe, share. It does help, obviously, the YouTube algorithm. And thank you for watching my first video on the channel. And I'll see you on the other side. All right. Have a great day.
Harder than ever, bars clever, I'll probably flow forever. Battle whoever, snake rattling, cattle spread pressure. Catalyst for hazardous happenings in this rapping shit. Talk about the smoke.